Hi, my name is Padma Dharmata, and this is Sanji Jack Sage, and we are out here today at Hunker Bay at Land Between the Lakes, and today we are practicing postpartum recovery yoga. Now for me, just 6 weeks ago, I had an emergency C-section. Maybe you had a planned C-section, or maybe you had a natural delivery. But no matter our experience, our bodies went through a lot, and we should honor that. So don't have the mentality that sometimes I do, and I want to get back to normal as soon as possible, but our bodies aren't ready to. So we should honor that space, and that's exactly what we're going to do today, is take it slow and allow our bodies the space to recover in the way that it needs to. So if you're anything like me, you might be feeling a bit of lack of strength in the abdominal area and the lower back area, maybe in your hips. So we're going to work on opening up those areas and just bringing a little extra love, blood flow, circulation, and release into those areas. Maybe you've experienced some stress or trauma that revolves around your birth. Maybe it was all love and joy and pure excitement. Whatever the case may be, we store all of those emotions in our muscles, our bones, our tissues. So let's focus on that today. And one thing to remember, of course, is that your body has been through a lot. So listen to your body. Honor the space that your body is in. You have to take it slow, day by day. Stop when you need to stop. Take a break if you need to take a break. If baby starts crying and you need to take a moment, do that. If baby wants to join you, bring baby onto the mat. But this practice is for you. So if you're ready, roll out a mat and let's get started. As always, make sure you listen to your body, regardless of what I'm doing, regardless of what I'm saying, regardless even of what you maybe want to be able to do with your body right now. You have to be exactly where you're at. So go gentle, go slow. Make sure that you are cleared for gentle exercise. If you need a couple of blocks, a half wheel, or a cushion for support, feel free to add those in. Let's begin in a seated position, however is comfortable to you. You can sit with your legs crossed, you can sit with your legs out front. And we're going to begin with a few deep breaths. The best way to connect to our body is through our breath. So with the torso upright, just going to begin by taking a deep breath in through the nose. Fill up the lungs as much as you can. Hold it and exhale through the throat. Big, loud breaths in through the nose. Slow inhale till we fill up the lungs, then hold it. And exhale through the throat. I'm just going to take a few breaths right here. Now keep breathing those deep breaths for just another moment or two. With every breath, you're breathing as slowly and deeply as you can in through the nose, filling up the lungs. Once the lungs are full, hold that breath in for just a second or two. This is really good for the lungs. This is great for the blood flow, for the heart. And as you exhale, make that real noisy ha exhale. So as we're breathing these breaths, we're flooding the body with oxygen. We're increasing the blood flow. We're also slowing down the heart rate. So one thing that can happen with birth and delivery and postpartum healing, sometimes we experience anxiety. Sometimes we experience baby blues, whether for a moment, whether for an extended period of time. This breath is the perfect tool to utilize daily or in the moment. Deep breath in through the nose. Now we're going to add a few arm movements, so hands at heart center. You can take a moment here to set an intention for your practice today. whether that's healing, recovery, whether that's bringing more joy into your life, letting go of stress, anxiety, whatever it may be. This is your moment. Now on your next inhale, we're going to inhale through the nose, reach the arms up as high as you can, extend the spine. Again, only going as far as your body allows. Then as you exhale, bring the arms down, out wide to the mat. A few breaths just like this. So we're expanding our body. We probably haven't experienced a lot of movement since we gave birth. And if you experienced contractions or any amount of pain through your birth process, as many of us did, then you probably haven't expanded the body a lot lately. The healing and recovery process is challenging because as doers, what are we tasked with doing? With sitting still, with doing nothing. And that's not a bad thing. But sometimes it goes against our nature as mothers, as caretakers. A few more breaths. So just take it easy. Go as far as you like. You can add some movement here. To me, this feels wonderful on my lower back. Bringing some movement to the sacrum, the lower spine. If the arms are too much, we can bring our hands to our thighs. Just gentle movements. Again, we're not pushing anything too far today. This is step one. This is step one to bringing movement back into our bodies. You can wiggle the spine in a circle. If you had a C-section or if your insides are still a bit sore, you want to be very gentle with this movement. We're not compressing or twisting too far today. We're just bringing blood flow into the body. We're bringing intention into the body. And let's go the other way. Keep breathing those deep breaths. Because more than any movement, those breaths are the most important. We cannot practice movement a single day of our life. It's okay if the movements look weird. Our body might move a little weird. But even more important than movement, the breath is the most important. The breath is our life force. The breath is what goes with us in every moment of every day. Okay? All right, let's come back to center. Anytime you need a moment to rest, take that moment. If not, bring the hands to the knees. If the legs are extended, that's fine. Same thing, bring the hands to the knees or the thighs. We're gonna inhale, lift through the spine. We're not folding forward, but just moving forward just a little bit. Really just feeling the space in our body. Maybe we don't really know how we can move. Exhale, come back. Gently, you can grab the knees or you can just curl the spine gently. I'll probably say that 100 times. What you could do 6 weeks ago or 10 months ago or a year ago, just keep moving back and forth, might be different from what we can do now. In fact, your entire body has changed. Don't expect to do all of the same things. It's okay to take the space to rediscover where your body is now, to rediscover who you are now, because even you have changed. It's okay to be different. It's okay to take life in stages, in chapters. come back to center. Now we're just gonna move the spine to the side, if you will, gently. Moving from the left to the right. You might feel a tiny bit of stretch in the hips or the sacrum area. This feels very nice on my lower back. Because for me, my lower back has been the most affected. I've felt like for the past 6 weeks I have no back strength, no lower back strength. So for me, I'm reconnecting with my back, my spine, relearning my strength. All right, now we're gonna turn to face the side of our mat. Now facing the side of our mat, we're going to extend the legs. You're welcome to use a bolster or a cushion of some sort under your hips. And you can also use a block for reach. That'll make more sense in just a moment. So sitting upright, legs extended, gentle loose legs. Let's take a deep breath. Arms up. And then just as gently as you can, we're going to exhale and extend the body over the legs. Now maybe we just gently relax over the legs. That's perfect, because that's all that I can do today. Maybe you can completely fold forward. Maybe we just hang out and rest on a block. Maybe you have a chair and we just rest our head. Just opening up that lower back area. If we extend the spine a little bit and press the heart forward, we might feel this just a little bit more in the hips. Or if you want to feel this a bit more in the lower back, just round out the spine. Being careful of the compression that we get in the stomach and making sure that that's something that feels okay to you. If not, maybe you want to stay a bit higher. And don't allow yourself to think that this is doing nothing for you. This is doing a lot for you. Bringing blood flow to the back, the spine, the hips. I have to remind myself a lot not to try to do too much. That's been my greatest life lesson these past 6 weeks. And maybe right here, you bring a little movement, swaying side to side. Again, making sure that that feels okay to your body. As you feel comfortable, maybe you fold a little further, or maybe you've come out of this posture already. That's perfect too. And we're still breathing those breaths. And when you're ready, we're going to inhale, come back up. So now you can stay sitting on that bolster or you can come down onto your mat. We're going to bring the heels together, knees outward. Some call this a butterfly pose. Some call this a relaxing, gentle pose. We're just going to call this a hip opener pose, okay? So just let the knees fall out. Maybe your knees are tight, maybe they're up here. You can put something under the knees, that's good too. So we're lifting through the spine. Again, making sure everything feels good to your body. There's no need to push ourselves with this practice today. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, just walk the hands out wherever is comfortable to you. Maybe it's not very far and that's okay. You can come down to the elbows if you like. You can bring the forehead to the mat if that compression is not too much for you. But for me, I'm just using a half wheel to rest, allowing my hips and groin to open, breathing. Walking up on the hands. Let's inhale, come back up. That might have been an intense stretch, so just slowly bring the knees back up Extend the legs. A little wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Let that blood flow back in the legs and hips. And now we're going to come over onto our hands and our knees in a tabletop position. Hips above the knees, hands beneath the shoulders. Again, listening to your body. We're just going to take a few breaths here. So we're going to inhale, look up towards the ceiling, drop the belly gently. If we've had our abdominal muscles separated with a C-section, then we are very much bringing our muscles back together with this stretch. Just keep the belly dropped, gentle breaths. Again, don't push yourself too far. We are relearning our body. On your next exhale, just gently tuck the tailbone, chin to the chest, stretching the lower back. You can bring the hips to the heels if you like. And then inhale, gentle movements, breath by breath. So drop the belly. Exhale, round, not too much. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. You can rock the hips from side to side if that feels good to you. Exhale, round. And on your inhale, come back to neutral. Bring the knees to the hands, heels to the heels, hips to the heels. Spine upright, heart is open. Take a deep breath. Now we're going to separate the feet enough for the hips to sit between them. It's very important that if this brings any challenge to our knees, that we're sitting on a block or a cushion, a bolster, enough to keep our hips elevated. We're just going to recline onto our hands, just ever slightly. This is opening up our knees. You may feel this in some other body areas. You may feel this in our wrists. Couple breaths here. It's great to bring a balance to the body, even if we're focusing on our abdomen and our spine, our back muscles. Our entire body is so important. Our entire body worked as a team, and not one part of the body can work by itself. Inhale, we're going to come back upright. Come back over onto our hands and our knees. And child's pose. We're going to bring those hips to the heels, the knees separated to allow the chest to fall between the knees. Again, making sure this is okay with your body. You can bring the head to the mat if you like, or you can stay upright. Or you can find some in between. Just allowing the lower back and the sacrum to relax here. This might bring a slight compression to the abdomen to make sure that that's okay. You might gently rock the hips here. It's finding a little bit of movement. Breathing a few breaths. Now this posture is a wonderful posture to find your way to relax for a few moments. To breathe those deep breaths. To let go of stress, let go of any maybe trauma we experienced. To be grateful for this gift of life that we have, to be grateful for this gift of breath that we have, to be grateful for this body that carried us through. Maybe our body's in great condition now, maybe we're not in so great condition. But we're here, we're now, we're moving forward day by day, breath by breath. What a beautiful gift. Deep breaths. Not every day is easy, especially if we have some sleepless nights these days. Not every day is easy, and it's okay to say that. It's okay to feel that. But to just keep reminding ourselves that every day is a beautiful day, and we're moving forward breath by breath, moment by moment, day by day. Now we're going to come back up onto our hands and our knees. And from here, we're just going to walk the hands forward. We're not going to come down onto our stomach, but we're just going to drop the belly if you can. If you can't, that's okay. Don't even do this if it does not feel good to you. Just gentle, opening up the front side of the body, and then exhale back to a child's pose. Just releasing that lower back. Now we're going to come up onto our hands and our knees. Now we're going to drop the heart. So come down onto the elbows. Keep the hips right above the knees. We're going to bring the heart, the chest towards the mat, head towards the mat. You can use blocks, pillows, bolster, whatever you need to prop yourself up. You don't want to move down too low if that doesn't feel good to you. So this is a slight abdominal opening as well as a heart opening posture. You can find some movement here. Sometimes movement is easier to incorporate rather than just holding a posture, especially as we're relearning our muscles and our body. I know that I can't just hold an abdominal stretch, but I can move through a few breaths using my abdominal muscles. Okay, come forward and then exhale back into a child's pose. Round the spine a bit here, maybe pushing away from the mat. And then come back up to a seated or a kneeling position. So let's open up the hips just a little bit before we end this practice today. Let's move into a pigeon pose or a modified pigeon pose. So I'm going to show you an easy variation and then a more intense variation. An easy variation would be to come into a seated position, bringing the right leg on top of the left. So the legs are stacked here. Now, if your hips are a bit tight, you might leave that left leg straightened out and maybe your posture looks quite a bit different than what I'm doing. That's okay. Just find your way. So we have that right knee bent. We're just going to exhale, fold forward until you start feeling an opening in that right hip. Now, if you're still in that kneeling position and would like to practice a more intense variation, we're going to come onto our hands and our knees and just bring that right leg forward. As much as you can, push the left leg back as much as you can. We're going to inhale, lift through the spine, gentle, gentle, gentle. So here you'll feel this through the front of the groin. We want to be careful right there, through the front of the abdomen possibly. I do. We want to be careful there. And we're definitely going to feel it in that right hip. Don't push yourself too far. Use all the blocks and cushions that you need to. Now I'm going to stop talking for a moment because this is a posture that you might really enjoy sinking into. You're just going to take a few deep breaths, breathe through the feelings that we're feeling, and with each exhale, just relax. If you feel good here, you can bring the torso a little closer to the mat just to relax here. And when you're ready, hands, we're gonna push the body back up, back to that kneeling position or back to that sitting position with the legs extended. And we're just gonna switch sides. So if you're in that sitting position, we're gonna bring that left leg above the right leg. Legs can be stacked, or we can extend that right leg. Exhale, fold forward. Or from the kneeling position, we're going to come onto our hands and our knees and just bring that left leg forward as much as you can. It does not have to be perfect. Push the right leg back, because this practice is not about being perfect. This video, this class today is not about being perfect. So we're just opening up the front of that quad, the groin, the abdomen, breathing. You can stay here, or we can exhale, come down, take a few breaths. Whenever you're ready, we're just going to come up onto our hands, push back into that kneeling position or that seated position, wherever you're at. Torso is upright. Take a deep breath. Roll the shoulders back. Let's take a couple of deep breaths. So starting with the hands beside us, doesn't matter how you're sitting, just take a deep breath. Extend the arms up, extend the spine, reach. Exhale, hands to heart center. 2 more times, deep breath, extend the arms, fill up the lungs. You've done an amazing job today. Deep breath. Remember to always thank your body, no matter the limitations. Regardless of where you're at, it's perfect. Every day we're healing, every day we're moving forward. I'll meet you right back here next time. Thank you. Namaste. Say hi, this is Mommy and Sanji Jack Sage, and we are here on set at LBL